President of the General Assembly, at the outset, allow me to start by commending the efforts of yourself, Mr. President, for your efforts and leadership, as also that of the co-facilitators for the Pact of the Future, Namibia and Germany, for the Global Digital Compact, Sweden and Zambia, and for the Declaration on Future Generations, Netherlands and Jamaica, in skillfully leading this complex process during a very complicated time. India had actively and constructively engaged in the year-and-a-half-long consultations on the action-oriented document. Under India's civilizational vision of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or the world is one family, we have contributed towards making the Pact more human-centric and amplifying the voice of the Global South. India's approach to the Pact for the Future aligned with its broader vision of inclusive and sustainable development, as articulated in the Vikasit Bharat at 2047 initiative to realize the goal of a prosperous India. While prioritizing sustainable development, we try to ensure that human welfare, food security, health security, energy security, and climate finance are also addressed. Evasion of climate action responsibilities by the developed undermines the growth prospects of the developing. As Prime Minister Modi stated in his address at the Summit of the Future, reform is the key to relevance. My delegation would have liked to see a more ambitious Chapter 5. We continue to believe that the intergovernmental negotiations input for the SOTF did not go far enough in addressing the critical issues related to UN Security Council reforms and expansion. We wish that the views expressed by a majority of the UN member states had been clearly captured, in particular with regard to expansion of the Council in both permanent and non-permanent categories and beginning of text-based negotiations within a fixed time frame. On this aspect, we believe the Pact definitely falls short. My delegation would like to reiterate that while we have seen progress in the language on the reform of international financial architecture, more needs to be done in strengthening the participation of developing countries in IFIs, as well as in urgently and effectively addressing debt vulnerabilities. In this regard, the G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration and the Pact for the Future converge on some key principles, such as making the international financial system more inclusive, sustainable, and resilient, while advocating at the same time for stronger, more democratic global financial institutions. We particularly appreciate the strong message condemning terrorism in the Pact, which continues to be a serious threat to global peace and security, while areas such as cyber, maritime, and space emerge as new theaters of conflict. On this, we would like to stress that global action must now match global ambition. India supports global digital governance, which ensures that national sovereignty and integrity are upheld. We visualize a comprehensive framework for the development, deployment, and governance of digital public infrastructure through an open and inclusive process. The Global DPI repository created under our G20 presidency was the first ever multilateral consensus on DPI, and we believe that DPI should be a bridge, not a barrier. We are pleased to see that the Global Digital Compact attempts to address this. Promoting a meaningful engagement of youth and youth-led, youth-focused organizations in the work of the United Nations is imperative. India has the largest youth cohort globally, and they make a vital contribution through their participation in governance and sustainable development. Our policies on youth are multifaceted, aiming to address the diverse challenges and harness the demographic dividend. We recognize the pivotal role of the Declaration on Future Generations in this regard. Mr. President, the world has changed profoundly, and so have its concerns and opportunities. It is essential that the United Nations be the central platform for finding common ground and way forward through a reformed multilateralism. A UN that is effective and efficient, that is more representative and fit for purpose in the contemporary era is therefore very essential. The Pact and its annexes are a starting point, only a means to an end, as we collectively work towards changing the world for the better. Thank you.